Hey, what's up everybody? This is Osterberg501 and today I want to go over the new 1.0.4 update for New World, which is actually currently being updated at 1:44 a.m. Eastern Time, which is when I'm recording this video. And I mainly just wanted to go over the things that I found more important in this update. So first off, server transfers will be re-enabled once this patch is done and everybody can get on the game. US West will be enabled at 2 a.m. Pacific Time after the patch goes live. After they monitor server transfers in US West to ensure there are no new issues, they will re-enable it for the remaining regions at 2 p.m. Pacific Time, and no server restarts will be required if or when they enable the server transfers for all of the other regions. Next up, the most exciting thing about this patch, Outpost Rush will be kind of re-enabled with this patch. So they're kind of doing it in tiers so different regions get it at different times. I guess so if there's an issue, they can more easily take Outpost Rush away without having it on every region at the start, which is a bit weird. But South America will get it at 2 a.m. Pacific Time right after the patch is complete and went live. After they monitor Outpost Rush in South America to see if there are any additional issues, they will enable it for the following regions at the times below. So US West will get it at 10 a.m. Pacific Time. US East will get it at 12 p.m. Pacific Time. AP Southeast will get it at 2 p.m. Pacific Time. And Central Europe will get it at 7 p.m. Pacific Time. So essentially what they're trying to do with this is let different regions test it to see if there are any differences between the regions and see if there are any bugs. So if they have to take it down, they don't have to take it down on all the regions at the start, or if there's any super small stuff, they could possibly fix it before the other regions get it, so it's not as big as an issue. But I would say if this is still broken, which it very well might be, that's going to be a pretty big issue, because if you guys didn't see my other video going over essentially how Outpost Rush went, it's pretty much been disabled since the start of the game. 99.9% of the player base haven't been able to play it. Then, what is it, a few days or a week ago, they re-enabled it for a total of like 2 hours. Then they found a bunch of additional issues, so they disabled again until this patch. So hopefully there are no issues, because Outpost Rush is probably the best endgame content in the game by far. So next up, the first house discount reduces the purchase price but does not reduce taxes. However, the UI indicated to players that their taxes would be reduced, and it was only after purchasing the house and needing to pay the taxes that they discovered they had to pay full price. We will compensate any player who purchased a house before the UI fix went out with 2,000 coins. The first house you buy in the game is reduced by half, and the UI was showing that that would reduce the taxes by half as well, but it wasn't doing that. So they're pretty much giving everybody who bought a house before that UI fix a free 2,000 gold, which hopefully will help inject a little bit of gold into the server. Slightly improved performance within wars. We'll see how much that actually helps. And then in update 1.0.3, we corrected a bug causing companies to lose income from owning multiple territories or from failed war declarations. With this update, we are reimbursing lost coin revenue. The company treasury will be reimbursed for all the lost coin revenue resulting from the issue. The revenue returned will not exceed the treasury cap. If a company has been completely abandoned, they will not recover lost coin. Then they increased the faction token cap by 50% for each faction tier. We made this change so that players can earn extra tokens even if they've hit the reputation cap and want to save up while working to advance to the next faction rank. Here are the new values. No idea how they didn't think of this before. They're kind of still pretty low. So tier 1 is 7,500 up from 5,000. Tier 2 is 15 up from 10. Tier 3 is 22.5 up from 15. Tier 4 is 37.5 up from 25. And tier 5 is 7,500 from 50,000. Honestly, I'm still not sure why these are this though. With maxed weapons being 50,000, you would expect that the cap would be much higher. I don't understand the obsession that the New World devs have with having extremely low caps for most things in the game. Azoth is still sitting at 1,000, which is ridiculous. You could legitimately have to pay half of the cap to teleport across the world. Some other caps, this cap is still pretty low, but it is a helpful update. So if people are wanting to farm these, they don't have to go buy something after a couple hours of farming. And then we have a fix for all the miners out there, and this was a little bit of an annoying issue. Fix an issue with star metal and orichalcum ore veins, where large ore veins were rewarding small amounts of ore, and small ore veins were rewarding large amounts of ore. And you would also notice this because you would go to this massive vein, and and it would take a few hits to break. And then you would go to this really miniature vein and it would take like 3 times as long to hit. Essentially, just the rewards and the gather timers were switched between the sizes of the ore veins. So that should actually help you be able to determine how much you're going to get from each ore vein a little bit more easily now. So that is pretty much all the fun fixes out of the way. Now we have the speculative fixes, which I want to go over some additional stuff because I guarantee you this absolutely is not going to fix these issues. So fix a war exploit where players could use area of effect magic effects to capture rally points without taking damage. This should be improved by the war performance and life stat performance updates, but we will continue to monitor to see if this issue persists. First off, the developers considering this as an exploit is kind of funny. I know a lot of people have been talking about everybody exploiting the magic area of effect glitches, mostly by the Ice Storm Vice Gauntlet, which would essentially, if you casted too many of these big area of effect spells in a war, which is an instance, it would essentially freeze the entire area or the entire war, and people would still be able to take damage, capture flags, but if you had enough people on the flag while it's frozen, nobody else can move to get on the flag to defend it, or wasting time for attackers because they don't have enough on the point at the time of the freeze to take it. And I've been a part of a few dozen wars. Basically, nobody has actually set up, at least on my server, like mage groups to try to cause this. You have a few mages in the group, and at some point their AoEs are going to overlap and cause this. I seriously doubt this is going to be fixed with this. I almost guarantee you the first wars after this patch are probably still going to have this issue. Then we fix several known causes of players becoming invulnerable. The issue is a top priority for our team, and we are continuing to track down fixes for additional causes of this issue. This is the big thing I want to talk about because a ton of people have been coming out and talking about this now. Josh Strife Hayes, which is a really good YouTuber, has recently done 2 videos going over this, confirming that New World is client-side authoritative, which is essentially meaning that it's taking the information from the client side of the game, so your side of the game, instead of taking it from the server, which is how you're able to put the game in windowed mode, drag it around, and pretty much become invulnerable for that time. Now, they did fix a thing where the hatchet's unkillable phase would just constantly reproc, making you actually unkillable, but there are still other ways you're able to do this because the game is client-side authoritative, which means there are probably going to be more ways figured out to where you can just become immune by putting your game in windowed and dragging it around. And I also have a big suspicion that people are going to find more item and gold duplications because the game is client-side authoritative, because it just takes people testing this stuff out, and most likely like I said, most likely there are going to be more duplications for items or gold figured out if there haven't already been that people just haven't talked about. And the worst thing about this is this type of issue is not something they're going to be able to easily fix or completely get rid of. They could fix some of the bigger issues, like the hatchet's unkillable, just constantly refreshing when doing it, but they're probably going to have to completely overhaul New World, kind of like Final Fantasy XIV, if they want to fully fix some of these issues, which is not a good place to be in. But that's pretty much all I want to go over with this new update. Some good fixes, but some of the bigger stuff, like some of the issues in war and being able to drag around your window and become unkillable, are probably bigger issues that they're going to have to more overhaul the game to fix. So subscribe if you want to see more New World or other MMO videos. Leave a like if you liked the video. Leave a comment down below what you guys think about this new update, and thanks for watching.